Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coco. I am Jen. We're ready for a Sunday morning stretch. So hopefully you have at the ready a stick, a PVC pipe. Ideal is about 6 feet tall. If you're taller than that, have one that's more equivalent to your wingspan. Yoga block if you have it, yoga strap if you have it. We are going to be down on our knees today. So if you need a pillow or a blanket to kneel on, go ahead and grab that as well. All right, so I'm on my yoga mat and I'm going to start with kind of my more traditional warm up. So I'm going to extend my grip as far along into my stick as I can. All right, and I'm going to draw in my belly button and relax through my neck and tops of shoulders. And exhale as I begin raising the stick up overhead. Now, once you reach this top point above your head and as it slides back slightly, I want you to focus on not forcing it behind your back, but allow your chest to soften so it slowly drips behind your head, okay? And don't force it if your shoulders are not feeling good. Just soften, 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 and allow it to drift down, skimming behind your head only as far as you can, given as much softening that you're able to do. Tops of shoulders, neck, and front of the chest. The wider your grip, the better, or the easier this is going to be. Now, if you find it easy at this level, let's go ahead and bring our grip in a little bit, make it a little bit more challenging. And you might limit your range of motion just a little bit, but exhale and soften through the chest. Good, one more. Nicely done. Okay, now I want to start opening up my shoulders. So I'm going to do this little boat stretch. So I'm going to put my hand on the end of the stick, and the hand that's at the top of the stick is going to reach for the ceiling. And I'm putting quite a bit of tension with my other hand pressing toward the ceiling. So I'm going to rock back and forth and then open up and try and really drive that palm toward the ceiling as well as you're able. You shouldn't be bending over in the spine. You're just driving that hand toward the ceiling. Good. One more. Let's take the stick to the other hand, palm on the end. So this is my right hand at the end, and that right hand's going to the ceiling. And I just gently rock down to release and then back up. That's just for you. Good. Okay, don't add tension to your neck. Just lengthen. Just whistle. All right, nicely done. Okay, let's do one more to continue to work those shoulders and open up the chest. So we rock back and forth. Now we're going to scoop. Okay, so out in front. Now watch the arcing angle of my stick. Oops, it's gonna basically go this way, right, in an arc, okay? But now let's go ahead and put the palm over the front of the stick. Soften your knees, exhale, and push up and over the shoulder. Okay, being mindful, just up and over the shoulder, direct angle, opening up the front of the chest. Oh, that's very good, James. Good. Now there's some creaky areas on the top of the shoulder you might have. Just try and think soften and release. Good. Okay, one more, other hand. So now my left hand is on the end of the stick. Same soft approach. I'm scooping like it's a shovel, and I'm scooping it up and over that opposite shoulder. It is a rough day in here today.
Can we make a sign of
We are hitting everything with our sticks in here today, guys. Yeah, seriously. Okay. Now let's go ahead and bring the stick behind our hips. Okay, soften your knees. And let's just start doing a little bit of rotation. We're going to learn something a little new today, but let's warm ourselves up. Just relaxing through our chest and shoulders. Exhale as we twist. Good. Breathe through this rotation. You like that recipe? I do. Kathy likes it too. I was going to send it to her. The carrots. Yes. Those are vegan hot dogs, smoked carrots. Oh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, yum. That sounds really good. Okay, so now I've snuck that my stick up into the crook of my elbows, okay? And I've widened my stance just a little bit. So wider than your hips, but weight still comfortably on your feet. Now, the point of emphasis here is I don't want you to shift your body weight through this next exercise, okay? So we're gonna stay in this nice solid 50-50 weight distribution. Okay, palms up. Okay, now I want you to have a little bit of tension as though you're reaching your fingertips towards something. Okay, just a little bit. You feel that? Feel that opening up your chest and lighting up your chest a little bit? Okay, good. Now we're gonna hinge forward. Okay, good. Now, without changing your body weight distribution, we're gonna hinge and rotate. So I'm gonna go right now and drop my right hand down toward the ground, but I'm gonna rotate and turn palm down. And I have my right hand on the inside of my right thigh, and I'm pushing off the inside of my right thigh as I twist. I just got the dirty. Okay, and back. All right, so let's revisit that again, right? So make sure where the stick sits doesn't move, okay? So it's stable beneath your scapula, right? Your palms are up and you have energy. We're going to hinge, then right hand is gonna go palm down. I'm gonna reach for the inner thigh of my right leg as I rotate, rotate, rotate. My palm finds my inner thigh, and I'm gonna continue to try to rotate, and I'm gonna put energy into my right palm to try and help my rotation. So I'm pushing off the inside of my right leg. Does that make sense? Okay, and then release and come back. Okay, so yes, this is a rotational. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're trying to do it all with the back. So, nope, we are not aiding our rotation by bending our knees and changing our body weight. We're trying to force as much of this work into our back as we can. Okay, all right. So let's go, now we're gonna drive left hand down, okay? So I'm gonna go through it slowly again to make sure we have those mechanics right, okay? So we're hinging forward, weight is evenly distributed. I'm gonna rotate my left palm so it's down. Okay, now left palm is reaching for my left inner thigh. I'm keeping my weight evenly distributed and I'm trying to lengthen and snake that left arm through as much as I can. And I can gaze up over my right shoulder, but I'm not changing my weight distribution. Good, I'm gonna come back and rise. This one's tough. Your arms, I know, that's what's holding us back. Our arms are too short. We're gonna do it once more on each side, at least once, okay? I'm getting crusties, crowd. Okay, palms up, soft knees, hinge. Okay, and bend your knees just a little bit more. There you go, good. Okay, now I'm back to the right hand. Right hand goes palms down. Weight is even on my footbeds. Rotate, snaking that hand. Snake the hand, Doug. Press into the inner thigh.
Can I just warm my hand? Not snake it.
Now, I'm also feeling this in my glute, yes? Good. Good, okay, release. All right, we can come back to center and rise, but we're gonna do the left hand again. I appreciate how none of you are cheating. Okay. All right. What's that? Bending your legs, shifting your weight. Not doing it would also be cheating, yes. Okay, palms up and hinge. Now make sure your knees are bent sufficiently. I don't want you to be straight-legged going into this. So nice soft knee bend, okay? Now left palm's rotating down. As I rotate, I'm pressing my left palm into my thigh, moving around to my inner thigh, extending as far as I can, and my gaze goes up over my right shoulder. Good. Tiny little hold and rotate back. And yes, again, then as I look over my right shoulder, I can feel that stretch through my right glute. Yes? Whew. Good, nicely done. I know it is a little bit hard on the arms. I feel like we should have softer poles, softer sticks. Okay. I know that one's goofy. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and get into our half kneel. We're gonna start off in our half kneel. And so we're gonna start with just some tiny little monkey hang work, which I think you guys will like. Okay, so I'm on my right knee, left knee is up. Okay, so when we do this monkey hang, we can do it with knee up. So we're more in a runner's lunge. We could do it that way, but we're gonna do it with our knee down to start today. Okay, and so my right knee is down. I'm gonna have the stick at my right armpit. Now, I'm gonna reach up as high as I can. For those of you that have shorter sticks, we're gonna be a little bit limited by our stick. We can compensate for that by going a little bit wider in our stance, okay, or in our kneel. Now, the first thing I want you to do is, you're grabbing the stick. I want you to rotate just a little bit so your knuckles are more pointed forward. So you're rotating that arm forward and getting more into the lat. Okay, now we're gonna lean in and you're hanging on pretty tight with that right arm. You can use your left arm here to help take a little bit of tension off if you wanna reach across. Okay, nice and long. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and bring the stick across our body, slowly over rotating even more into that lat. So it's going toward my right shoulder. Good, now my hip is stable, but my shoulder is going just a little bit as my arm goes. So I'm getting a big stretch across that sling. Good, okay, slowly come back to center. And now we're gonna open up the other way. So again, I'm hanging on with two hands. Now I'm opening up my chest. Good. And slowly rotate back to center. Okay, let's shake that arm out. We're gonna do that one more time. Was that terrible, James? Pretty close to terrible. All right, get that blood flow back in the hand. Okay, reach up. Now I'm going palm in, wrap my fingers, and then I'm gonna twist just a little bit. Okay, and now I'm lowering myself, allowing my body weight to hang from the stick, and I'm gonna take my left hand and grasp right across my, the line of my sternum. And I'm thinking soft tops of shoulders, soft neck, glute engagement though, yeah? Okay, now I'm gonna come across my body, my hip is still, and I'm turning the stick just a little bit, taking my gaze. Hip stays still. Too much in the shoulder? James? Yeah. Okay, now back to center. And now we're gonna open up. Good, okay, back to center, release your grip. Swing that arm, it's dead. And switch knees. Okay, so I have my right knee up now, my left knee is down. The stick is in my left hand, and it's about parallel with the instep of my right foot. Okay, now take your grip, palm into the stick, wrap your fingers around, then rotate inwardly. So turning your fingers more in towards yourself. Okay, so now we're leaning in and we've already rotated our lats forward a little bit. You can take that free hand, grasp across. Okay, hopefully you're all in a position where you feel pretty stable on your knees, like you're not gonna tip over. Relax through the neck, tops of shoulders. Okay, now we're rotating toward that right shoulder. Hip stays still, opening up from left hip. Good, back to center. And now open up the other way. Okay, stick goes behind the left shoulder, opening up the chest. Relax through the neck. Good, okay, and back to center. Release the stick, we'll do that one more time. You okay, Kathy? That's your bad arm, right? Okay, last time through. Grasping the stick in your palm. Curling your knuckles in. So you rotate that lat forward. Should feel it right there, right below your armpit. Okay, send it over towards your right shoulder. Take your gaze, but leave your hips behind. Good, okay, come back to center. And then exhale as you push it back behind you to the left. And exhale as you rotate, rotate, rotate. Okay, and back to center. All right, whew. All right, shake those arms out. Not in this space, apparently. Okay, nicely done. All right, so the next one, it's not as intense in your hands. So I know that you guys watched me do it a little bit in the beginning, but it's not as terrible as you think. Okay, not as terrible as you think. So as you're ready, we're gonna get back into our half nail. Do you need a blanket, hon? Pillow? Okay. All right, so we're back into our half nail. Okay, now you're gonna, you guys might want a shorter stick. Sorry. Good thing they're right there. And James got it for you. All right, so we're in our half kneel. Okay, I have my right knee up and I'm gonna hold on to the end of a stick, okay? And this grip that I'm gonna use is just slightly wider than my shoulders. I'm not using my normal dislocate grip. It's just slightly wider than my shoulders. And there's kind of a three-part move here, okay? So as I exhale and bring it up overhead, I'm imagining that I'm dragging, trying to stretch the stick away, stretch my hands away from each other, okay? You got that? And then I'm gonna twist. Okay, so that's 1 and 2. 1 and 2. The final is that I'm gonna open up and bend, bend, bend through my side body and plant the end of the stick into the ground without falling over. Do you want the long stick again, James? And then back up. What's that, Kathy? Okay, so I am opening up the side, so you'd be going the other way. So I'm stretching hip to armpit of the hip that's locked down right here into my half kneel, okay? All right, so my right knee is up. I've got the short end of this, I got the short end of the stick on the right side. Okay, all right, so tear the stick apart as you lift it up. Now it doesn't have to be tremendously high, right? Just up overhead, and then tiny rotation, and then exhale as you use those obliques with control to reach down for the ground. And as you come up, you're using those obliques. Exhale. Good, and back down. Okay, so this is the workout portion of today, James. Yes, it is. Okay, so with this last one, so you can pick your angles, right? Like a clock, okay? So I happen to go, what did I do? Like 8 o'clock, right? So now I'm gonna move forward more toward like 10 o'clock, between 9 and 10 o'clock of the angle, right? If this is 12 o'clock, okay? All right, so stick, tearing it apart as I bring it up. Okay, so now I'm gonna rotate just a little bit this way. Exhale as I slowly, with control, lower the head of my stick and then lengthen. Good, and as you come up, make sure you use your breath. So inhale through your chest. Exhale, activate lat to oblique to come back up and bring the stick down. Okay, let's go to the other side. So the thing is, when we learn these new things, then we master them and then we love them. I just had to remind you how that process works. Well, it's not all in one day. It's great core work though, right? And glute, right? You should be feeling your glute firing to help you keep your stability. Okay, so now my left knee is up. The left is going to get the short end, right? And I'm going to be going toward the right to open up. Okay, so here's your grip, slightly wider than your shoulders. You're going to tear your stick apart as you bring it up overhead. Okay, now I'm going to twist toward 4 o'clock. Exhale. Open, open, open. That's that shoulder, Kathy? Yes, Michelle, good job. Straighten that bottom arm. Good, so you can feel like you're using the muscles on that underside, that oblique and lat to straighten the arm, good. Good, now make sure you use your breath to come up. Inhale, exhale. Good, and return the stick back down. Now pick a different angle that doesn't poke your partner. I didn't notice you did it wrong. I was watching your wife. Oh, rats. Thank you for self-evaluating, James. That was good. Okay, so pick a different angle. I was at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Now I'm going to shoot for like 2 o'clock or 3, so I don't run into Kathy. Okay, all right. Exhale, rip the pit stick apart as you bring it up over. Okay, now I'm not going to rotate. I'm just going to go to 3 o'clock. Plant the stick. Now you can put energy into the stick with that bottom hand. Activate that oblique. Good, Kathy. Feel that right glute firing to keep your pelvis nice and stable. All right, now exhale to come back up and lower the stick. Nicely done. Don't break the stick. Doug looks like he wants to break the stick. All right, let's go ahead and take a little child's pose. Lot of lateral stretching today, yeah? Quick child's pose. Doesn't it seem a little early to grab your strap, James? All right, since we're here, let's go ahead and thread the needle. Let's do just a little bit of baby rotation. So whether you have your knees tucked or knees wide, what is comfortable for you, your arms are extended up overhead. Take your left hand and thread it underneath your right armpit. Align your left palm toward the ceiling. Allow that space between your shoulder blades to soften. And go ahead and lower your left cheek toward the ground. Good. Relax the tops of shoulders if you feel like you're clenching them. Okay, draw that left arm out. Replace it up overhead, and now thread the right arm underneath, palm up, and resettle so that your right cheek hits the ground. Good, now draw that right arm out from underneath. And now, because it's such a great stretch and because it's James' favorite, we're gonna go ahead and take a pigeon here. And I think Lynn likes this one too. So this is for you, Lynn. All right, so we're in our tabletop position. Slide that right knee toward the right hand and extend the left leg back. And then sneak that right ankle up toward the left hand as much as you can. Okay. You can kind of walk your hips back just a little bit if you can do that move as well. All right, now you're going to start lowering your torso gently down onto your elbows. And then evaluate the tension areas that you're carrying, releasing through your quads. Releasing through your hip. And then as you're able, melting your entire torso down to the mat, resting your head comfortably. Good, now slide your hands underneath your armpits and slowly press your torso up and away. And then slide your right knee out, return to tabletop. Now left knee moves forward as right leg goes back. Okay, and crawl that left ankle up toward the right hand. So we're going into pigeon on the other side now. All right, and start melting that torso down to the elbows and relax. And then extend the arms. Rest your forehead on the mat. Excellent. Now drag the hands underneath the armpits. Press the torso up and away. That was unnecessary. Mm-hmm. Really. Feel compelled to make you guys do more things now since we're here. Actually, we should, because we haven't done enough rotational stuff. Okay, so let's just add just a tiny bit more rotational stuff. It's not going to be terrible. Okay, we're in tabletop to half kneel. Okay, now I have my right knee up, left knee is down. I'm going to hinge forward and plant my left hand underneath my armpit and extend my right arm out. And then exhale as I rotate. Trying to get into a nice parallel. Palm facing that opposite wall, soften through your neck. Shoulders in parallel. I want my shoulders parallel, not perpendicular. Good, now spiral that right hand down. Plant it inside of your right foot. And now let's go ahead and go the other way. So you're gonna extend your left arm out and rotate as you exhale, pulling from your rear deltoid to try and restack your shoulders. Breathe, inhale and exhale, and then slowly spiral the arm back down. Good. Okay, now let's go ahead and change knees. So I'm going to bring my left knee forward. Okay, we always start with the easy side. Okay, so right hand is planted underneath the shoulder, right adjacent to my left foot. Extend that left arm. And now as we rotate this way, we get a sense of comfort that we can actually do this side. As we open up, shoulders are stacked, left palm going the opposite, toward the opposite ceiling. Good, you can take that left foot to the knife edge if you want, rolling it over. And then returning the sole of the foot to the ground. And spiral the left hand back down, plant it right inside the right foot. Then we'll extend the right arm and exhale as you rotate. Left foot. Did I say right foot? Left foot. Left foot. James is my editor. Left hand next to left foot. Right hand to the ceiling. Good. Feel the power of those rear delts. Holding that arm up, twisting the back. Good. And then slowly lower that arm back down to the ground. Excellent. Okay. Now we can go down to the ground if you want. Okay, so if you have your yoga straps handy, let's lower ourselves slowly to the mat and reach for your strap. All right. We worked on it yesterday. Good job, Ann. Way to show off. All right. Now, before you begin your stretch, find your neutral spine into the mat. Support your head and neck as necessary with the towel, with a pillow, but align yourself so you're into a nice neutral. That means not pressing your low back into the mat, allowing that little space to happen. Then take that strap and wrap it around either in your arch or the ball of your foot, whatever's most comfortable for you. Okay, grasp the strap in two hands, elbows into your sides. And then position your leg as straight as you can at a level that is comfortable. And then begin the process. So exhaling and softening as you contract through the biceps to draw the leg up over the body. Now with your exhale here, I want you to think about tightening your low belly. Don't allow your low back to press into the mat. Be strong in your low belly, preserving the natural curvature in your lumbar spine. By doing that, it'll go a long way into keeping your hips anchored to the ground. Use your breath to think soften and lengthen through that hamstring. Good. Now slowly lower it a bit. And let's go into that one more time. Same direction. So foot is nice and straight. Exhale as you return into that deep stretch. Leg as straight as you're able. Low belly deepening to stabilize your pelvis. Good. Okay, and then let that leg lower again. Now we're going to internally rotate the femur into the hip joint so that big toe on the right foot is now pointing more toward that right shoulder. And you can transition the straps into your left hand. Place your right palm down, okay? So we want to keep that right hip down. We don't want it to fly up as we transition into our outer hamstring, which it will want to do. So palm down, palm energy. That means lats and obliques are supporting that right side of the pelvis to stay down as that left bicep contracts to pull that leg over toward your left shoulder, accessing that outside hamstring. Yikes. Now, in this position then, I want you to play around with a flexed foot and a pointed foot. Flex, ooh, and points. Flex and points. Feel how much more deeply you get when you flex versus point. Flex, and point. Good, okay, bend that knee, draw it into the chest, and we'll switch sides. That was actually kind of remarkable, right? If you were doing that, it was really intense when you flexed the foot and pointed and then dropped into that flex again. Whew. Okay, so now the strap is around the right or the left ball of my foot, elbows in, draw that leg up over your hip, foot is straight. All right, low belly dropping to stabilize my pelvis. And as I stare up at that single point in the ceiling, I'm thinking softening. Good, okay, I'm gonna lower it just a little bit, give myself a little break, and then I'm gonna go back to it again. Okay, I took a little knee bend, and I'm going back at that same stretch one more time. Mentally trying to get a little deeper into it. Okay, and then soften, let that leg drop down about 2/3 of the way. Then rotate inwardly. So that right big toe or left big toe is now pointed toward the right, left palm on the ground, and hand straps in your right hand. Now you're drawing that leg across your body more toward your right shoulder. Left lat to oblique, helping to pin down that left side of the pelvis. And once you hit your stopping point, it's much shorter range than when you're on the first stretch into the primary hamstring. Now you can begin pointing and flexing. Ooh, point and flex. Point and flex. And flex. Good, okay, bend the knee, draw it into the chest. All right, now, because I like to leverage this position, I'm gonna keep the strap of my left foot and cross my right ankle over my left knee. Allow that left knee to bend generously. It does not need to be rigid. Place your right elbow into the inside of your right thigh, okay? Because we want to open that hip up. All right, strong grip on your straps. Strong elbow into your thigh as you open up your figure four and use that strap to pull that left knee in toward your body. Now, focus on deeply sinking in the low belly at the same time. Almost like as that breath leaves you, that flattening happens in your low belly, then imagine that it allows your knee to come in just a little bit more. One more breath. Good, then slowly release the tension from the strap. And we'll switch sides. So we'll plant the right foot into the strap. Cross the left leg over so the left ankle is hitting, and it's kind of above the ankle bone, hitting the right knee and above the right knee. And position the straps comfortably in your hands. This will be left elbow into the left inner thigh. Right knee bends. Energy into that left inner thigh from the elbow. So leverage that lat strength. And exhale as you begin to contract through the biceps to draw the right knee in as the left elbow pushes the knee away. Let's work through 3 long breaths. Excellent. Now slowly lower that platform down to the ground and you can release the strap. Place your hands on either sides and then draw your knees to your chest, one at a time or both together. And now you can begin by extending your arms out just a little bit further from your hips so you're more into that X shape, and you're going to slowly lower your legs to the right side. And ideally, we're going to have our knees parallel to our belly button, if we can, and let them lower all the way to the ground, or as close to the ground as we can, and trying to keep that left shoulder blade down, right? So we have this nice, beautiful rotation here. Now, the left leg's on top. We can straighten that right leg underneath so it's out of the way if you want to get deeper into the stretch, and use that right hand on top of the left knee and apply a little bit of pressure. And make sure you're thinking, I'm releasing in my inner thigh on that left side and in the back of my left knee, not providing resistance. And then as we take our gaze over to our left hand, we can open our palm to the ceiling and begin to experiment. What position can I place my arm in the mat? Am I at X, T, or even can I release over these road bumps into Y? I know we all have road bumps in our shoulders, but can you find a place where you can release into Y? Good. Okay, lower that arm back down to X. Okay, release the tension off of your left knee, and then we'll go ahead and switch sides. Okay, so now draw your knees back into your chest. Extend your arms out to X and slowly lower your legs to the left. Okay, ideally all the way to the ground. All right, good. Now straighten that left leg underneath if you need more stretch. So that right leg is drooping over, right? You're thinking drooping because it's a very sleepy word. Okay, so use that left palm down on the right knee. Allow that rotation to happen a little bit more in the low back. Right palms extending out and away into a T. So we've moved past X. We're into T as we're able, as defined by our shoulder blade, trying to get that shoulder down. And once you soften into that position, you can exhale or try to work into Y. Soften, soften, soften. Again, there may be little road bumps in there. Try and navigate them if you can. If you can't, you can't. That's fine. Good. After your 3 rounds of breath, slowly lower that arm back to T, back to X, rotate palm down, release the right leg, draw your knees into your chest, and then extend your legs out onto the mat. Then you get to enjoy your 3 rounds of breaths in this position. And I'm going to slowly roll over to my left side. And thank you all for joining me in class today. Have a good week. We'll see you next Sunday. Bye.